Hi everybody, my name is Sarah with yet another episode of Keto Under 20 Carbs Per Day. Well, I don't know if any of you watched The Last Alaskans, but when Edna gets on her meat, I need meat kick, I had an Edna moment yesterday. I got organic chicken breast and organic whole chicken, grass-fed ground beef, Carol's pastured organic eggs. Oh, and a pork roast. Anyway, it was a bonanza of meat yesterday. So I had my Edna from Last Alaskans moment with meat. And so I roasted the chicken last night, and I roasted the roast pork. And so today I'm having a fun day. I'm having a 2-salad day. The first salad will have chicken thigh meat in it, organic romaine, blue cheese, cut up asparagus, and 10 grams of blue cheese and 1 tablespoon of evu, and 2 strips of uncured bacon in it. The second salad is for dinner, and it's a taco salad with 4 ounces of the roast pork, salsa, sour cream, romaine lettuce, and I bought 3 types of hot peppers. The round ones that look like little baby tomatoes, and then jalapenos, 1 red and 1 green. It's going to be tasty, let me just tell you. And I have some fresh cilantro too to sprinkle all over it, with some grated unpasteurized raw cheddar cheese from Organic Valley, and some organic avocado in it. Oh, it's just going to be a wonderful day. So anyway, today's topic is not about what I bought and what I'm eating, although it is Keto Under 20, so I'm excited about that. But today's topic is, do you have blind spots in your keto food program? Do you? Do you have blind spot behaviors that wouldn't show up on the tracker? Or do you have blind spot items on the tracker that might not be on Dr. Westman's page 4 or in any other doctor's list of things that you can have? And oh, by the way, I digress. Dr. Perlmutter's Whole Food Plan for Life, I believe that's what his last book out is, his infomercial type of thing on PBS. It's 90 minutes, and it is excellent. It is so Keto Under 20. I hope that some of you do get a chance to see it. Usually check. I find that Sunday into Monday in the middle of the night are PBS's healthy sort of repeats. And I'm very conscious of my ums because somebody noted it. I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, but the ahs and the so's and the ums are just part of my home-style, homespun, bathrobe-wearing podcast. But anyway, I digress again. So if you do get a chance to get it, he's just slow and steady and sane and just so good in what he promotes there. And I don't even want to put it in the infomercial sort of place that it is. I do have his last book on my Kindle, and he's such a decent man. I often listen to his podcasts when I walk, and he just makes such good sense out of the ketogenic food plan and lifestyle with walking and habits and everything else. But back to blind spots. I've got a blind spot in my memory. As he talks about Alzheimer's, his father had it, which is what kind of led him down the road of the food and the gut and the second brain and all of the good things that he is about. And intermittent fasting too, by the way. So a blind spot could be, as you're preparing something for a meal, you nibble. You're standing up and it's 1 slice for the pot and 1 pops into my mouth and so forth. And in the past, you might have rationalized it's only a veggie or a small piece of the cooked meat, or it's like just a tablespoon of the nut butter that I didn't count. Or you overestimate things. And even though you say you're weighing and measuring, it happens to me all the time. Like I've got my macadamia nut oil and my extra virgin olive oil mixed in a little jar. So it's like a 50-50 deal that I put on my tossed salad, 1 tablespoon. And sometimes I overpour. So, I overpour. I've got the tablespoon and I'm overpouring, and so it really could be a tablespoon and a half. And sometimes I count it and sometimes I don't. But, that's just my full disclosure on that. But yes, sometimes I overpour something. Not often do I have the heaping anymore, the heaping tablespoon, cup, half cup, quarter cup sort of thing, because I do the carbs. And so when I'm putting my 2 tablespoons of Neuchâtel cream cheese onto my into my tablespoons, or just cutting it out of the brick of the cream cheese, it's weighed. And so it says 30 grams or 28 grams, whatever ends up the 70 grams, because sometimes, like with butter, it's 14 grams per tablespoon, and I think with the cream cheese it's 15 grams. I'm not sure. Trust but verify. So the nibbling over the preparation of the meal could gather you quite a few more carbs, especially if it's salad things or a nut butter or things like that do have carbs in them. And also the overpouring, overheaping. You have a quarter of a cup of nuts that you have not weighed, just using the dry measurement thing, and it's like that. And so it could be a half a cup with the mound. So you need to be careful where your blind spots are. Also, in serving yourself, if you're not a weigher and a measurer and everything is hunky-dory and you're losing and your body's leaning out and you're losing inches all over the place, then maybe this doesn't need to be reminded to you. Maybe you're safe that way. But for somebody like me that can mistake 4 ounces of a steak for 10, I need to be careful because it's got a match in my tracker. 4 ounces versus 10 ounces is a lot. It's a lot of steak. I've been known to have it. But like yesterday in my salad for lunch, or salad for, oh no, I had a cheese omelet, and on the side I had 4 ounces of leftover ribeye, grass-fed, and also the filet mignon that was grass-fed. The two together weighed 4, because I'm not going to waste $16, $17 a pound steak by tossing it. So I had it with an omelet. So it was steak and eggs. It was delicious. So with blind spots, of course, just the word itself, you understand that it's a place that I'm not seeing or recognizing. Same thing with pouring cream into your coffee. I put my NutriBullet attachment, the glass thing, the plastic thing, on my kitchen scale, and I weigh out the 15 grams of heavy whipping cream. I weigh out the tablespoon of the pasture-raised butter. I don't take those things for granted or eyeball them or just like this looks like a tablespoon and plop it in. And when people say to me, how come you measure in grams? It's because my addict could get in there and tip my hand with grams, and I could end up, instead of having 15, I could have 28. And it doesn't look any different. It doesn't pour any different. It's just a real fast pour, and then whoops, oh, there's the 28 sitting in the coffee. So then I have to go back into my tracker and adjust it. And sometimes that's so anal. Oh God, sometimes I hate being anal. It's the blurse, right? And what is a blurse? A blurse is a blessing and a curse. So I'm disciplined, structured, and detailed on the one hand, and on the other hand, it's like, really? Really? 10 extra grams of heavy cream in your coffee? Really? Yeah, sometimes it's a really. So, it's a short subject, but if you're going to become aware of your behaviors, because you don't put into your tracker behaviors, you might put exercise, but you're not putting stood at the counter and had a knife full of extra meat that I was putting into my salad, or I overpoured my olive oil. So we don't put behaviors in our tracker. So behaviors come to us in a slow aha moment kind of way, and that's where the blind spots lie. So this has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, with just a quickie, but it's a biggie. Or another one to me is a blind spot of nighttime eating or snacking. And on the keto plan, every time you eat something, it spikes your insulin and blood sugar. And so the whole point with keto is to keep that blood sugar and your insulin low, 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 because every time you do that, you're stalling being in the fat-burning mode. And so with the snacks and the meals, you need to be careful of that handful of nuts. You know, a handful of nuts could be a quarter of a cup. And that's a lot if you're on keto under 20 and you're being honest. Same thing with the gum. If you're popping the gum, flip that package over and see how many carbs are in one stick or one chiclet. I do Velements that have less than 1 carb per little chiclety thing, and I still only have half of that. And I'm down to 5 times a week. When I go to my meeting, I pop half of one. And on the other days, I'm gum-free. And that is nothing short of a miracle. If you're a gum chewer like I was, you know what that means. I mean, I was chewing it like a cow with its cud, I tell you. So anyway, this has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Be mindful of your blind spots. A little tweaking of them could mean the difference between 20 carbs and 30 carbs. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.